morning.
Oh, can people actually hear us?
I don't know.
Well, better ask.
And actually, nobody's there on
YouTube.
Nobody's there on YouTube. But how about we get Instagram going?
Okay.
You want to do that? All right. Hold on. I'm putting my finger here. Let's get Instagram going. We're a little late. Hopefully, we'll have forgiveness. Okay, not that. Go live. How do we do it? Live. Three, two, one. All right. I think we're doing it. I think we're there. YouTube, hello. How are you? Instagram, right here, Michael.
Hi.
Hello. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Hi, Alan. How are you? Good to see you. Oh my goodness. I might should have put that one a little closer to me. Guys, we are Mike, Heart, Renee. And just in case there's a little bit of confusion, I'm Mike.
No. That's confusing.
It's a little confusing. Well, who are you?
I'm not Renee. Although there are men named Renee.
Yes, and they're fully fine with that name because
Right.
it's beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is Mike. And you'll hear me call him Michael. It's okay. And he's my Michael, and I'm Renee. And we are joining you today. We're here today with you because you asked, right? You may not realize you asked, but we had a fabulous video for our wedding. And our wedding actually happened last September, right, Michael?
Mm-hmm. Yep. It was the anniversary of our knowing each other for 10 years, our 10th anniversary of being a couple.
Mm-hmm. So in layman's terms, we've been together 10 fabulous years. We'll tell you all about our before lives. We have, plenty to talk about with that, but wonderful time together, 10 years. And then Michael orchestrated us getting married, the day of our 10th anniversary. Yep. So
I wanted to be able to remember our anniversary date. So I remembered we met on September the 13th.
Yes.
2013.
2013.
My memory's not that great, so I felt pretty good about that.
He has a great memory.
So I didn't want to confuse my brain with another date that I might forget. So
yeah.
I know that sounds silly, but
no, it doesn't.
I thought 10 years was a good period of time to have been together and to get married. And we did. And one thing was our wedding video. Well, one is I wasn't crazy about why do we need to do a video of the wedding and pay all that money for it. But I probably watched it now as many times as Renee has. And it's on her YouTube site.
Hour.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike Heart Renee is an hour thing.
You set it up. It's your deal.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's really great. And we were amazed at how many people watched that.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how they found it, but nearly 400,000 people.
We were trending, and we may still be, but not as fast as that.
Well, I don't know about
in 2 or 3 months. Yeah.
That many people watched it in the first place. It was amazing.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't our intent to do that. It just was something that happened. But
so let me plug Fezzik Films. Fabulous videographers that we had. Hello there, Toy Toy. Thank you for joining us. We're so blessed to have all of you, Alan, Toy Toy, and those of you on YouTube. Thank you. Fezzik Films is the videographer company that we went through, and they are storytellers. Okay, I'm trying to manage all this. I'm answering a request to be live, and I think I did it. I'm not sure. We're new at this, so give us a little time to get used to it. But Fezzik Films is who produced the incredible wedding video. And good morning to you. Thank you so much. LVNSCR, thank you for the love, the message that you just sent. I'm sharing that Festive Films is who created our wedding video that got all this attention, 380,000 people in 3 months. And what was just heartful for me was 12,000 comments, more than 12,000, almost 13,000 comments. And so I was telling
and
Michael.
You don't have to answer every one, but sometimes in the middle of the night, I look over, she's got her phone going, got lights on, and she's saying, well, I think I need to answer this one. So, so sweetly, she has answered a lot of those
because of the love that you give, the comments that you're making.
Tell them a little bit about what some of the comments you were. I mean,
you know what? Can I back up?
Yeah.
Can I introduce us?
Say what?
Say what? Say what? We'll talk about that little cute thing that we do. But I shared that this is Mike, whom I call Michael, and I'm Renee. But, you know, Mike Heart Renee came out of us being this couple and this life and this love that we have. But let's talk about a little bit about who you are. Before we get into the love story, who are you? Who the heck are you?
Well, I'm still trying to figure that out. It takes a while. I'm a slow learner. You know? Well, I think we're all trying to figure out who we are. But, But
I'm going to do some things while you're doing that.
I want to talk a little bit about, when I met Renee a little over 10 years ago, I had been married twice before, so it's funny when people would ask me about Renee and I getting married. It says, is this your second or third marriage or what? And I said, it's my last marriage. So
sweet.
I know.
Last.
But, so you could say that I come to this relationship with some training. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too.
So it's time to take the training wheels off, right?
Yeah.
So,
I love that.
I have said this to people, and I think I wouldn't wish divorce on anybody, but I wouldn't change anything in my life. I wouldn't change the fact that I was married to those people that I was married to.
Right.
And they're nice people. They're not bad people. Things, for one reason or another, didn't work out after sometimes a long period of time. But it's those experiences, sometimes the difficult things we go through, that make us who we are. So Renee says, who are you? Yeah, I've got some scars here and there, but I value those experiences.
Yes, we both do. As Michael said, he was married twice before, and we had a lot of people, Michael, that actually that speaks to them. I mean, they've been married once and twice and maybe more, and I love the fact that we have, these experiences, because they help us to become more of ourselves, believe it or not.
Well, truth be known,
yeah.
I don't know if I've ever told you this, but
Please share.
Well, of course, I'm obviously just a couple of years older.
Just a few. We'll talk about that.
But there was a part of me that felt like, because of everything that I felt like I was too old, maybe, or just life had gone by so much that I really have a chance of meeting somebody else and that I would fall in love with and have spend the rest of my life with and all that. And I sincerely doubted it. Renee knows this, but when I was single, I would go to this place called Howell's in Atlanta.
It's in Buckhead. It's a
steakhouse.
Yeah.
But they have music there. Actually, a friend of mine used to play piano there, and so I kind of felt welcome there. And it's a place I could go sit at the bar and have dinner by myself, but there are a lot of people around, and I always met people when I went in there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I ever went in there that I didn't meet anybody, and maybe didn't become friends necessarily. We thought, well, here I am kind of hanging out at a bar, but it was a upscale bar scene.
Right.
But I never met anybody that I really wanted to date, or even go out with. I never asked.
Lucky for me.
Never asked anybody. I did meet a lot of ladies and nice people, but just I don't know, So it's funny, when I met Renee, she was in a jogging outfit. I joked she wore like 3 training bras. What do we call them?
Put my business out there.
And her figure wasn't accentuated in the right way. Anyway, she had on a hat down over her head And so I really didn't see a lot of her. And when I first met her, she really didn't want to be there. I was a little embarrassed.
So what did impress you?
What got me was her voice. She said something, and it just touched something in me. I swear to goodness, and I never had that happen with anybody, or where just voice really got to me. And
Nice.
I said, and Renee said, because she had been through a pretty tough time and went through a divorce, and she was trying to get her family all orchestrated in the right direction and all this. And she said, I'm really not dating right now. So we just go get something to eat because everybody eat.
Yes. The answer was yes.
On my feet a little bit now.
Well, we're here.
Yeah, it led to eventually getting together. But when I think back to, and I have this image, I swear to goodness, the exact image. If I were an artist, I could paint a picture of Renee in her jogging outfit. Sometimes she forgets what she has on, but I got it registered up here in this old brain of mine, exactly what she looked like. And I just peeked at her face, honestly. Just saw a little bit of it. There was a ponytail sticking out the back, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So, and it's funny because after we really started becoming a couple and dating, because we lived in different quadrants
of Atlanta,
that we didn't get to see each other as much as I wanted to.
Mm.
We talked on the phone a lot, and that voice still resonated with me, for a long time, because that's a lot of all that we had was our voices, and we'd have these phone calls.
That's
he
right.
was the opposite end of Atlanta for me, and hard for us to actually get together.
Yeah. So Toy is here, and she says that you're speaking to a lot of people when you talk about your past love, your past lives, the failure of marriage, and she said, "Thank you." I had marriage, and Michael kind of hit to that. I was my first love. The relationship was more than 20 years, almost 25. Marriage was a lot, a little bit less than that. But I was all in and thought that, I was going to die, in that relationship, or, old woman. And it didn't happen. I know from reading your comments and your questions, yes, this resonates with you all too. And my heart goes out because I was that woman. How I not allow that to prevent this? It was God, but it was something inside of me that first loved me. Because as Michael said, I wasn't looking for him. I was not positioning myself to get back up on that horse at all. Here now, at all. I, at the time, I was so hurt, and I thought I'd be, single for the rest of my life. So I realized that I needed to love me, because at the time, all I was hearing were words resonating of what I wasn't, who I wasn't, and that I hadn't, and I was not, and all this stuff, and it was very, very hurtful. And so I said, wait a minute, I've got to find me. And I found my way to go get therapy. I did need a little help, and I was depressed, very depressed. So I was medicated for a while. So I do support that and encourage you if that's what you need. But
mainly to get help.
Yeah.
Not to get medicated.
Well, no, that's my point.
Yeah.
It was a therapist and a series of therapists that pointed the way to that.
I never told you I went through therapy too.
Oh.
And I was just talking to my therapist and just pouring my heart out, and I looked over and he'd fallen asleep. And I thought, well,
find another therapist. That's not really funny. Hello. But
it was kind of funny.
But we do want to encourage you to do what you need to do And it's self-love. That's what it is. It's realizing that, wait a minute, crying every day, I'm not okay. These thoughts that are debilitating, it's not okay. So I just want to take a minute, just a quick minute, to say, do what you need to do to be all right. And as our favorite person on TikTok says, is that all right? So anyway, back to us. I was in 8 kinds of therapy. 8, you said it, I said it, and made sure I was okay, because I had to, it was a hunger, a need for me to be okay with, hello, everybody who's joining. Thanks so much. Our Instagram friends right back here, Michael, and YouTube over here. So we're on both platforms at the same time. And hello to all of our loves on YouTube. Listen, get the therapy you need. Go full in. I had children that me. I committed my life to them. I felt they didn't deserve pieces of me or what have you. So I did what I needed to do. And because I did what I needed to do for them and for me, I was available. I was healthy. I was happy. I was whole, and I was looking very much forward to life, and joined Meetup. And it's not an online dating site, but it is a site that helps you get back into living in the ways that you love it. I was whitewater rafting, horseback riding, I start to say trekking for some reason, but hiking, and doing all the things that I love outdoors.
Well, you met a group of ladies over there. That's what really happened, and that gave you kind of a support group and something you could do.
And we continued, the ladies and I, for years and years. And we would get together and do things when I didn't have kids and when they were free. And then all of a sudden, one of the ladies needed to sell her home. I volunteered to help her pack up her home just because I'm a loving person. And she gave me a thank you that I needed some help to wrestle. And I got my sons. I have twin sons.
Piece of furniture she left at my house.
No, it was her house.
No, well,
in all fairness, you see where this is going.
It was at my house. By the time you came to get it.
You're absolutely right. You're right.
The day I closed on the house, the day I actually
my friend's house.
Yeah, I'm outside in the driveway with my decorator, who's a good friend of mine and has done a lot of great work for us.
Yes.
Victor Moldovan is just terrific.
Shout out to Victor.
Yeah. And so we're sitting there looking at what we're going to do to the house, because we needed to do some upgrades. And this red pickup truck backs down the driveway, and these 2 young African-American gentlemen get out.
My boys.
And I'm going, what's going on? And they were a little hat in handish, a little meek. And they said, well, we're here to pick up a piece of furniture. It just didn't resonate at first. And then I remembered I'd found this piece of furniture and I didn't know why the prior owner had left that in my garage. And then it clicked. And
I have to tell you, I have to jump in to say that the realtor told me, get in, get out. It's the new owner. Welcome, everyone. It's a new owner. It's not your girlfriend anymore. They've closed. And so, basically don't bug him. She wasn't very nice. And so I told my boys, all right, let's get in, let's get out. And so I was in a rush. We were in a rush to get out of his hair. And so he's talking to me. He's actually jumping up to move the furniture. And I'm like, boys, what are you doing? Get over there. Hand signals, right? To your children. You know how you do. Get over there. And trying not to be seen. And Michael was slowing the process down, talking. I didn't understand it until somebody said, lean in and listen and see what he's talking about.
Well, the thing is that when I asked Renee to marry me, we got engaged, and I wrote a speech. And part of it was talking about how I knew what a great mom she was. Mm-hmm. And I knew something about her before I met her. And that was the minute the boys got out of the truck, I didn't see her. They got out, and I was talking to them, and they had such good manners, and they were just such gentlemen. And I'm thinking, these guys came from good stock. They were raised properly and all that. So that was my first impression of Renee, was to meet her sons and know what great young men they were. And so that was the first thing I learned about you.
Nice. Very nice.
Which I found out later that she would and even today would lay her down her life for her kids. No doubt.
Don't mess with me. I felt I had one purpose on the earth because, the marriage had gone away, and doggone it, I was going to make that happen. It was, and nobody was going to get in my way. And it actually has been that Michael, by God, is a facilitator of me restoring my relationships with my children, restoring my relationship with each individual child, and just restoring me.
Well, you're a good restoration.
Project? I'm a project now. Okay.
Project completed.
So thank you, everyone, for all the love for the video, the wedding video, Veziak Films. Thank you very much. And if you haven't seen the video, because we're talking a lot about it, it is on the Mike Hart Renee YouTube channel. And if you're on Instagram joining us, there's a link to the YouTube for the video there. And go check it out. And, we want to hear from you. Because you have said, you have questions, you want to love like this. This is why we're here. We know we've got something special, very special. For 10 years, it's just been incredible. Our family members know, our friends know, we definitely know. But we want to share it. And it's not by any means to sit and gloat and say, ho, 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 ho. Wait, ho, 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 ho. Okay, I'm sorry. Didn't do that gentleman justice. It is because I know that what is there for me is also for you. It's also for you. All I can do is point the way to what I did to love myself, to open my mind. Where's my little piece of cheat sheet paper that I want to make sure, the points I want to make sure, because I have to sit back and say, how did it happen? So for love and life, I believe that opening your mindset, shifting your perspective, and will allow you to create your reality, the reality that you want for yourself. This is a little bit different, right? I know I say mixed interethnic couples because I don't love that race term, but that's trending. But whatever, I'm not, I'm not trying to trend. But what I'm trying to say is whatever you do is going to take you knowing who you are, processing your feelings, and I've got a whole bunch of them, knowing what those feelings are requiring of you, that what, I'm crying. Okay, why am I sad? What is being asked of me? And how can I honor the tears? Or, am I crying because I'm happy? I do that. And so honor yourself, and also do the action. Do the action, and also open your mind, shift your perspective, look at things from a different way, see yourself from a different way, and then be courageous.
Well, I think about your book, Get Up, Get Out, Get Going, and I know yesterday we did a podcast. We had several people on there that more or less were single, maybe divorced,
Yeah.
and have kind of. And I know Renee's had several people tell her, well, I'd like to find a relationship, and in a way, it's not easy. But on the other hand, there's literally millions of people to choose from. But if you're not out in the world, being exposed to people, meeting people,
there you go.
And so I know widows or people that are divorced. And if you stay in your own home and you don't go out and you don't meet folks, then
even in your own circle.
And I do think about myself. So I'm going out, actually, I wasn't going out trying to meet people, but I just didn't want to sit at home alone. And so I would go to restaurants and places that were acceptable, and did.
I'm lucky nobody found.
Well, I met people, but the thing was, I still had a nice time. It wasn't bad. So I would say if you're single or been divorced, find a way to get involved in things. There are programs at your church that you could get involved in. things like the continuing education programs at, say, Emory or Georgia State. Or
I've got to mute somebody. There we go. How do I mute them? I don't know either. Please mute yourselves. I'm learning.
We had a visitor.
We do have a visitor.
I know.
And we love you guys.
I've been that person often myself.
I forgot to go back. Okay.
So anyway, just being open, but finding there are programs out there that you can get involved in. You can go to Europe with, Georgia State Alumni Association or something. But if you don't have the money to go to Europe, you can probably take a class at evening for Emory.
Look right there. Look right here.
Yeah.
And look right there.
I see. I'm looking down.
I got to remind them.
She's a pro. But years ago, I took a photography course at evening at Emory. And to this day, I still benefit from that. I did meet people there, but none of it stuck. Yeah, I never. But anyway, and so two things that they want is get out, but the other thing is know that you're good enough. So
say that.
I think what happens is we feel like a used car. I would tell people say, "Are you going to get remarried?" I said, "It makes me feel like a retread." You remember when you used to buy retreads for your car?
No.
Yeah. No. So we're all worth it. God made us all, and He put good stuff in us, and I think we all have to work on our self-image. And so some people are held back only by themselves. It's just themselves.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
When I finished with my therapy, and remember I said I had 8 different kinds of therapy, and I was limited in funds, so most of them were free. But I realized everything that happened to me was good. And listen, you're talking to somebody who I'll take care of. After my divorce, I didn't say that. I lost everything. And everything, my income, my home, everything, and lost a lot of myself. And so I realized after the healing process, and I'm looking at you because if I'm talking to you, everything that happened is good. You're here. Do what you need to be whole. But I realized that I needed to accept all those experiences. They made me who I am. And I can tell you the other side of this, when you're sitting in something as beautiful as, what I've been gifted, everything that I went through allowed me to fully be present and show up to receive this dynamic thing here. So accept that, own it, and let it propel you forward. Let it propel you forward.
So one thing we talked about yesterday was more or less, how to work on your relationship with your spouse for those who are currently married.
For those who are, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I can't remember if we said this, but we talked about it. I think a lot of relationships are not always a two-way street. Mm-hmm. And I know that for a fact. And
hi, Eva. I gotta say, you know what? Hello, everybody. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Much love for everybody. But I get excited when I see my special friends. Sorry, all of you are my friends, but all of my special friends. Go ahead, Michael.
So Renee does not get excited about things.
Just stop that.
It's like being married to a helium balloon. I tell people I just tie my foot to her foot and I just drug along wherever she's going.
My God. That's funny.
I know it. It is so funny. But we were yesterday. We talked some about relationships and marriages and how. But despite the fact that we've got a great relationship, it's still something. Gosh, you've got to work at it. And you've got to want to work on it. Mm-hmm. Just like our yard, which is we've got some plants out there suffering, and if we we don't do something, they're not going to make it.
Yeah.
So you have to.
And it's an everyday thing. It's an every moment thing.
Yeah.
And for those who are not married, because it's a relationship that you have to have with yourself. It's self-love. It's and some people think, oh, go get my nails once a week. That's me. Listen, if I don't take care of me, and that even inside of this relationship, if I don't take care of me and process, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling this way? Let me go, you know what? Let me take my shoes off. Let me go walk outside. Let me go feel the sun. I need to take a deep breath, take a walk. Self-love shows up in so many different ways, but we need to honor us, our thoughts, our feelings, our needs. And when we do that, then we can show up, for our mates, our children, our friends. Some of us, a lot of us are caregivers, and even in our workspaces. So you've got to wake up in the morning. I need to take time to process, the day, do my gratitude, because I'm so thankful for everything that I've come through. And I want to take, a little bit of time to say, okay, how can I be useful to somebody today? What did I forget to do yesterday? What can I, do in the moment, in the time that I have today? So
where were we?
I have questions.
Oh, you do? Okay.
So thank you. Yes, of course. Thank you, Toy. We're happy to share. We would love for you to give us your questions because we want to make sure that we are bringing impact and sharing the things that are on your heart. What I have today, and it would take a lot of video, and we're not going to do that to you, but those 12,000, 13,000 comments, I want to first, run off some of the answers to some of the things that were said because this will be posted. And then I want to kind of ask a few of the questions, just a few of the questions that, no, you can't cheat, of the questions that were asked because over and over, I mean, some of the ones that came up quite a bit. First of all, thank you for loving on me for my hair. I do want to say thank you.
Mine.
They loved on you too, Michael. They love your accent.
One of them's out of place.
I told you yesterday.
One of my favorite ones.
They told you yesterday. I told you yesterday they love your accent. So Michael was born in Tennessee.
No, Augusta, Georgia.
I knew that. Born in Augusta, Georgia. Has family from Tennessee. Moved around quite a bit. But really, this is an Atlanta, Georgia accent, even though his family's from Tennessee. So you get that kind of.
Quite have the Tennessee. They say up there, it's a nice night tonight. Mike. You're laughing, you're ruining it. It's a nice night tonight, Mike. That's what they say in Tennessee, Mike. I don't know what that is.
And when you're not thinking about it, you say, it's a nice night tonight, Renee.
Renee.
I laughed yesterday that they're laughing. I laughed yesterday that the person who commented about Michael's accent, really cute. When we started our relationship, Michael would talk and I go, what did you say? What was that? And but I laughed and he admitted that there was, a word or two maybe that I would say. And he go, wait a minute, what was that?
Well, she sleeps in the bedroom, and I pictured a room with a roulette wheel and a bed in it.
You did not. You did not.
The bedroom, not the bedrooms. The these left out.
Oh my God.
I know.
And I can't even remember. I'll have to. Hi. Oh my God. Okay, y'all. I love y'all. I love you, right? Hi, William. William blessed us yesterday. Had a debrief with us. And like I said, I want to hear from you. We want your questions. We want to be impactful and make sure that we're talking about things that matter in real life with real grown folks who are, first marriages, second marriages, third marriages, and on, with kids grown kids, we deal with real life stuff in this relationship, and we have before this relationship. So we want to talk about things that matter. And I was talking about my hair before that, which does not matter. But I wanted to thank you all for your comments.
It always goes back to hair. You know, if you're married,
getting back to the hair.
If you're married, you'll know. So I have a dear client who passed away not too long ago. But
wait, I have to stop laughing.
No, you can't stop. Okay, when we had the financial meltdown, and
he's in the financial industry, guys.
We
don't know that.
I know they don't need to know.
Okay.
So in 08 and 09, this lady came in. She says, "Okay, I know I'm going to have to budget, but I don't care what you say. I'm still getting my nails done every week." And you realize how important hair and nails are to a lady. So guys out there, you see your wife, "Oh, honey, I love your hair."
Yes.
Or, and check out their nails.
And notice when we come in, yeah. Okay. So, thank you. And yes, I said hey to William in all of that. But
how'd that get the hair and nails? Well, you brought your hair back.
Yes, okay. Because I was going somewhere.
Okay.
I want for the ladies to know that Salon L Buckhead is responsible for my hair in Atlanta, and Kiana in St. Petersburg. We have homes in both places.
And I go to little Scissors in Atlanta, and Linda, who's sweet as she can be.
Shout out to Linda. Thank you. You're so talented.
She's from China, but this is a funny story. I'm gonna diverge.
Please.
So years ago, I had a mustache, and it's funny how in my life I'm such a creature of habit. I never change, but then when I do, it's like I change on a dime. So anyway, I woke up at 4 a.m. and I just went, I think I'm going to shave off my mustache. And it was like, you could say a wild hair, but I don't know if that's the right term.
Oh gosh.
I don't know. Anyway, so I got up in the morning, I shaved off my mustache, and I went to work, and it was just such a funny experience of the people that some that didn't notice, had seen me every year for 30 years, and then other people that noticed right away.
I'll have to post pictures of him with a mustache.
I look like a used car salesman.
Yeah.
I really did. Anyway, I wasn't that good at it either. So I went to get my hair cut by Linda, and Linda she would cut everything. My eyebrows, little hairs on. You get older, men get this hair on their ears and all this stuff,
Nose.
Oh, come on. Anyway, she didn't do that. You're reminding me of a Mr. Bean episode.
Okay, go.
So anyway, I'm in the chair. There's like 6 chairs in this, and everybody in there is from China, all the little ladies. And there's some ladies have their hair in rollers because the ladies are getting their hair done too. And she's doing everything. The last thing she would do would be trim my mustache. So she'd done everything, and she went to get my mustache, and she literally screamed, "Ah!" And everybody cracked up in the whole place because it was just a shock to her that I didn't have a mustache. And I'll never forget that. It was the funniest thing.
That is funny.
Are we talking about hair? It's
funny every time you tell the story too. I mean, we have these little, the truth is one of the mainstays or one of the flavors of our relationship, I don't know the word, is laughter. It's laughter. I had a pretty difficult divorce and time before Michael, and Michael had, difficulty before me. And somehow when we came together, we have been laughing sometimes about the same jokes, but it's okay.
Right.
And I was going to mention, you got to have those little things that keep you together as a couple. I can say, Michael, it's time. Let's introduce ourselves.
Yeah, and I say what? Because this is our
little thing.
And again, talking about my mind, which some things get stuck in there, and that's been stuck in there
for years,
for probably about 40 something years. So my daughter was cheering, little cheerleader about, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years, maybe 9 years old or something, and we were going to Little League football, and of course it was an all white cheering squad, and they're going rah rah sister boomba, or whatever they say, and then they were playing a little black team, and little black cheerleaders got up there and they had some sass, and they're going, my name is so and so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
introduce yourself. Say what? Say what? and I thought, nah, that's snappy. Our team needs to get some of that going, And but I've never forgotten that. So
that's snappy, kids. That's snappy.
Watch your language. Anytime I hear somebody say "introduce yourself," immediately my brain goes, "Say what? Say what?" And I cannot stop the madness. I'm sorry.
And now that I know, and I say it, and I'm not thinking, and he says, "Say what?" We just die laughing.
She was a cheerleader, so she could actually give the cheer right now, but we don't have enough room. But one day we'll show.
Wait, what? What are you saying?
I mean, right here.
Okay, clean it up, my kinds. No. Okay, so I have a question. All right. So no, you can't see this.
I can't read it anyway.
Why, when we met, we were introducing ourselves. Say what? Say what? For those of you who've asked us to come forward about our relationship and how we came together, and even over here we've got CSR, hi, who wants to know about the journey of us coming together in our love story. So how did this person register with you? That was what I wrote down from some of the questions that kept coming up. How did I register with you? And then I would like to share how you registered, or why you registered with me.
Well, one thing, I don't know if you want to go here, but talking about our interracial
dynamic.
Yeah. So
I'm white and he's black. In case you haven't noticed.
You're tan. To me, Renee
we're beautiful.
She has a permanent, wakes up in the morning with tan every day, and I think,
okay,
I love it. Look at me. I mean, I can't even. I burn.
Michael, don't. I don't like these jokes.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
Anyway.
No, just because I don't like, self-deprecating.
So years ago, I bought a boat, and because Lake Lanier, where the boat was the water level was going down, I had to move my boat, and they moved me onto a dock, which was significantly African American boaters. And I was on my way moving to a new dock when it got constructed, so I was just there temporarily. And at the time, I did not have one African American friend, and there was no reason why. I just didn't. And I made friends with Wanda, who became my sister.
His sister.
Yeah. And Blue, her husband, and then Dave and Jan, and they were good friends. And then Ron Broadnax, who we saw yesterday, had dinner with last night, and Rodney Pitts and so forth. So I made friends with all these people, and I had my boat there for several years. And so all of a sudden, I mean, I remember going to Rodney Pitts' wedding. I was the only white guy there, and that changed my thinking in a way, or I think it just made it okay.
It opened your mindset.
Yeah, because my whole and those people still are some of my best friends today. Mm-hmm. They're so loving and they care about me.
Of course.
My good friend Wayne Hughes calls me. We had a nice talk on the phone this week.
Okay, you're supposed to be telling us how.
Yeah. So that's how we got together, was that first I bought a boat, and that experience changed my life in a way. So that when I met this beautiful lady, I was okay with asking her out. I think if that hadn't happened, maybe it wouldn't have been a preamble to us meeting, which has been great. And I've never been really prejudiced at all, but it's just I didn't think.
You ran in your circle.
Yeah, I was just in that circle. Gotcha. So really, it opened my whole world up. But that's not what attracted me to you, though.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
So I think so. It seems like the question changed a little bit, and I'll stay with where you are. I was just, not really dating and not really thinking that Michael would be a date for me. So when we talked earlier about how we met, the day we met, and that my sons and I were picking up furniture at a house that he just bought, when he asked me to dinner, and I said, no, I'm raising my kids. And he said, no, it's just dinner. Well, that was the thought that continued with me. Hello, Madeline. Remember Madeline?
Yes.
Madeline, thank you. Madeline helped us last night about midnight, or maybe even later. Oh my gosh. with our technical, we had technical issues yesterday. It was horrible. Madeline, thank you for coming and joining us today, and thanks for the love last night. It was great. But what was I saying, honey? This is how I am. So the concept of it's just dinner. I want you maybe to say that to yourself with whatever you need to do for yourself. Well, it's just whatever. Because I said it's just dinner. That lowered the fear threshold and emboldened me, put courage in there. It's just dinner. What is he? If he's a axe murderer, what's the term? It's just dinner. So I did the work. I looked to see who he was and all that kind of stuff, and felt comfortable because I'm a prize, and you need to know you're a prize. I'm giving subtle, lessons.
You are a prize. I'm surprised you went out with me.
But it's just dinner. And I was telling, I have a group of ladies that I mentor, and we just had lunch last week. And I told them, because we had to be reminded they're in the age of life where they're looking for partners. And I said, open your mind, shift your perspective. But what I did in those moments when we were dating, I never told myself that I was dating. I would open myself to an experience. We'd go out, we'd have dinner, or we'd do whatever we did. Sometimes we were on your boat. And I would come back home and say, did I enjoy myself? And it was always yes. Was that a healthy experience, a healthy, interaction for me? And that answer was yes. And then I think I had a few other questions for myself. And then I said, what am I going to do? And I said, I'm saying yes to the next. And that meant yes to the next date, yes to the next conversation, yes to the next. And you didn't know, but there were little pulses of, okay, was that good for me? Am I happy? Is it a good relationship? I'm sorry, I didn't look all the way down. My little mentees were saying, oh, I don't think he's a good person to marry. Wait a minute. You got to get to know the person. And yes, the person should be on their best behavior for, I don't know, I think at least a year. But we went through all these, and I was saying, okay, yes to the next. Mm-hmm. And then we go out again, and I'd say, okay, yes to the next. And I found myself doing that again and again. So it's a way for you to embolden yourself. Thank you, Madeline. Embolden yourself. Ladies, do your checks. Look into the background. Find out who this person is. Be safe. And then just do a little pulse check. And in the middle of the date, if something goes wrong, get up, excuse yourself, say you got to go to the bathroom if you don't feel so safe, and leave. It's okay. But if it's good, say yes to the next.
Say yes to the next.
Say yes to the next.
I didn't know that was going on.
I know.
Did you have like a scorecard or what?
I had a scorecard.
It's funny, but this may be a surprise to many of you, but men and women are really different.
I don't think it's a surprise.
So I knew I was having a good time and really enjoying being with Renee, and she lit up my life, literally, like that song "You Light Up My Life." I could sing that to her every day.
Aww, Madeline's laughing.
When I come home from work,
Abby.
When I come home from work, she doesn't. Well, she kind of knows, but I open the door hoping to hear her voice, and often she's upstairs in her. When we're in
Atlanta,
in her office in Atlanta,
yeah,
and she'll say,
"We're in Florida, by the way."
She'll yell out to me, and I just hear this excitement in her voice. And she used to, and these are little things they call, I don't know, love messages or whatever that you can do for your mate. But one thing she used to do when I drank, and I'd come home and she would have a bottle of Jack Daniels, a thing of ginger ale, a glass. She'd have my cashews sitting out. And it's like,
We'd have our own little happy hour right there.
Yeah, but it was without saying it verbally. She was saying, "I'm looking forward to you going home, and I want to comfort you, and
And spend time with you.
but honor you, but do
Yeah.
something." She did a little something for me. And she didn't know, but that just meant a lot.
Oh.
You know, instead of just going, "Hey, honey, how you doing? Good, fine." You know, and I missed it.
You never miss.
So I think doing things like that, if you are married, for your spouse, some little special thing that doesn't take a lot of time or money, but it just says, "Hey, you know, I'm looking forward. I was looking forward to seeing you. I want you. You've had a hard day. I want you to relax. You know, and if you're married and have kids, maybe if you're the husband, maybe you have a tub run for the mom and a glass of wine, and you say, "I'm taking the kids to McDonald's or somewhere healthy." I don't know. And you had a rough day.
Yeah.
And just.
And I have to jump in because just like I did that, Michael would do little things for me. When I would, kind of leave the kids and come to you, he realized I was a full-time mom and full-time, worker and, full-time this, that, and that at the same time. And so you would run the tub and get a tray, make me a little cocktail, put me a little something on it, a little flour, whatever. And I would be in the tub, guys. I'm about to get emotional. But this is while we were dating. And I'd be in the tub and he would say, "No, I'm not going to." I said, "Come on, get in." It was a huge tub. No, I'm not going to get in with you. But he would sit right there on the side and I'd have my drink and cashews and we would just talk. And that was a way I felt cherished. I felt he understood the effort and the sweat equity and the skin on the pavement with being a mom. It was it is a thankless job, especially a single parent, and and going to work and not having an employer give me love and have all that kind of stuff. But anyway, it was a beautiful way for him. Thank you, Madeline. It was beautiful. Madeline's been married 36 years. Awesome. Congrats, girl. You need to come and do this. But thank you, Toya, saying wonderful advice. So, but this is also something that can be for people who are not coupled up. And I want you to see that. I'm going to often pull back and say, wait a minute. If you're not coupled up, you can still set aside time for yourself. When my babies were little and they would follow me into the shower, I was like, wait a minute. So then you put them in a pen, for a minute, let you be able to see them. Jump in that shower, enjoy that water. They've got beautiful bath bombs for showers and for tubs. Anyway, I'm talking about honoring yourself, finding time to love on you so that you can be fully restored to go back out into the world and do what you need to do. All right. So I think we might have time for another question. This is Michael's the timekeep. Oh, it's time to wrap it up. Okay. I'll ask a fun question then. Michael, what's your superpower?
My superpower?
Yes.
All the holes that I have in my tongue from biting my tongue.
Oops.
Yeah, sometimes.
That's funny.
Well, I will say this, and I'm awful about this, but I just have to work on it, and that is, and I think everybody wants to be heard. Yes. And in a relationship, everybody wants to know that they're heard. And like if you're with a group of people and somebody, and people are telling jokes, I know I do this. I'm thinking of this great joke now that they said something makes me, and I'm waiting for them to shut up so I can tell my funny story. And I think in a relationship, a lot of times we think, oh, well, communication is a key, and communication means you need to listen to me, hear everything. And I have that problem, I know. I always think, gosh, we should record some of our conversations. And if I saw
we had a good one this morning.
Yeah, I would go, oh my God. So being able to truly listen to your mate, and it's a two-way thing, but I do think women are more sensitive than men.
Sometimes.
Jeff Foxworthy has some bit he does about how men and women are different, and these two guys are playing golf, and Bob says to Larry, how are things going? He says, well, Mary and I are getting divorced. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. And what are you going to hit, a 3-iron or a 4-iron on this next hole? that's
and
all.
Jeff Foxworthy is a comedian.
Yeah, he's a comedian. So I mean, men are kind of like that way. That's like, okay, well, big deal, go on, move on. But us men need to be patient and listen, because that's what women need, and it may be longer of a discussion or speech or whatever than you really think it ought to be, but that's what they need. So everybody wants to be heard, and that means different things to different people. So,
and I'm going to come back and say things that I'm not negating anything you've said, but I want to say that the character of not listening, the not listening, is not it's not attributed to one, a male or a female. There is typically a person in the relationship who is not as well attuned to listening, and so it don't feel like, Michael might say the men do this, but sometimes, it's a quality that is not with a sexual identity at all. It just is what it is. So I have to make sure I listen to you. Superpower is supposed to be, what do you do best in the world? That nobody does like you.
I don't know.
What?
I'm not sure what that is. I don't know.
Oh my God. Okay, can I share then?
Sure.
Okay. So Michael is amazing with caring for others. He has his business. He doesn't want us to talk about it. Well, not that it's off subject, but he's in the financial realm, financial industry realm. And he has his own firm. And Michael has about 30 to 35 team members. He doesn't call them employees. He's so awesome. But his team members are, incredible people. He cares about them to this great extent, thinks about them and their families all times of the day and night, all the weekend, when we're together. Not just that, his client families, oh my God. I know some of them. I've been introduced to them over these 10 years. A lot of them are our friends. And so he cares about them and does, takes different actions to care and make sure that they're being cared for, not just for today, but their legacies. And he cares about his family, his children, his grandchildren, cares about me, cares about my children, and cares about, so many things. People he doesn't even know. He's one of those people who'll watch TV. I'm going to tell it. Watch TV, and sometimes they do the hard stories, especially during Christmas or whatever. And he will hear about, a fire, hear about some unfortunate circumstance, and he'll go and text or call his personal assistant, executive assistant, and say, find out, who this is, and he'll love on that person and anonymously from afar. So that is one hell of a superpower, mister. I love it. I love that about you. I've been watching him for a long time, and I'm just so happy to be coupled up and partnered and married. So anyway, that's one of your superpowers, and you should know that.
Well, thank you for that. Well, Renee's superpower is that she is a giver. She does mentor people. Her coaching flows over into her everyday life. So she does take care of people, including me. She does care. She's an extremely emotional person. I don't know if she balances her checkbook or not, but I don't even look at it. But
we don't look at it.
Yeah. One thing I had to learn, and this was one of those things of learning about your spouse, and something that could have been a problem, but and at first it sounds like I'm saying something bad about her. But we went to the lake one weekend. We woke up Saturday morning and we're just getting ready to have a glorious day at the lake, a beautiful day. And she goes, "Oh no, I forgot something." I said, "What?" "I've got to go to a funeral today." I went, "What?"
In my defense, not in my defense, but just to set the whole stage, Michael takes time, and he plans these wonderful weekends, and and so we unplugged, and we were an hour away from home, and and so he's thinking, oh, we've got this great weekend that we're going to have together, and I kind of forgot.
She kind of forgot that somebody died, which was
no.
I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah.
I knew, but I was dealing with it, and then I don't want to burden him. And oh, Madeline said, "Oh my, yes,
sorry,
yes, Madeline, oh my," and yes, there are employers that actually care.
So anyway, she and I said, okay. So she left to go to this funeral.
How many hours did I have to drive?
I don't know. It was
5 or 6
no,
hours.
No, this I'm talking about when we were at the lake.
Oh, at the lake.
Not the other one.
Oh. Okay.
Anyway, I'm trying to get to a point. I know it's a long-winded thing, but she left, and I'm of course at the boat all by myself, and kind of counting the hours till she might get back. And I mean, it's like 10 or 11 o'clock at night before she finally gets back. And I really got this one time that I got upset with her. I got angry because it's kind of like, but eventually I realized that this is who she is. So I realized what happened. She got to the funeral, and she loved on everybody there. Mm-hmm. She got in the moment of being with those people. They probably went out to dinner afterwards. I don't even know. And what I realize is the thing that I like about her, or I should say I love about her, is that she can get in the moment and be just so engrossed in what you're doing. She can there's no one I'd rather watch a football game with than Renee, because she might not even know either one of the teams, but before halftime, she's cheering for one and jumping up and down and running and screaming, and she doesn't even know where the college is that she's watching the football game about.
I'm invigorated.
So she's got a spirit and an exuberance, and she gets in the moment, and whatever she's doing then gets 100% of her attention. And so when I'm getting that attention, of course, I love it. But I've got to let that light that she has shine on other people. I've got to share it with other people, which is sometimes hard to do.
Aww.
But that's her strong suit. And mine is, it's like 7 after.
I know. I thank you. Touchdown, go Renee. Yes. Thank you, Madeline. We're friends, right? You're going to have to come visit me. So thank you for honoring us. And, I think the time has been good. I know that we've touched on quite a few things for you to understand who we are and why we are. Oh my gosh, I get a lump in my throat when I, think about Michael and us, and how it all came into being, and how he honors me and holds me as precious. And my word that I shared yesterday was, in my mind, this is precious. He's precious. And so I thank you for allowing us to share who we are. And thank you for honoring, us with the comments and the love from the wedding video. And hopefully we can have something to say that will help you to step into the world, find your person if that's your heart's desire, be your person if it's not your heart's desire, whether it's your heart's desire or not. Be you. Get out there. We said yesterday, find things that invigorate you. That's what I was doing. I was living out loud, loving myself, loving the world again. And that's when I found, or this person found me. And
hope you found me now. Come on.
Okay. I will accept that. Yeah. But the energy of me being so stinking happy is, I think, what he heard and felt, and what resonated with his soul. And yesterday he said that he loved having that in his life. So you be that. Go do and find you and accept and love you and forgive you and be you.
And don't be afraid to get out there. Don't be afraid to go do something out of your comfort zone.
Absolutely.
We all feel comfortable, but
Yeah.
my little saying, I'll end with this for me, is that life is short, and this is no dress rehearsal. This is it. Today's all we have.
Yeah.
It's all that we know that we have. And so do something you wouldn't normally do. Be safe. Don't be crazy, but get out there and join a club or get involved in a charity.
Meetup.com, I think, is still there.
Go to Meetup and go whitewater rafting, whatever. But do something you kind of think about doing. It's not what you, and this is one of my sayings, it's not what you think that counts. It's not what you feel that counts. What only counts is what you do. What you do. That's all.
Yeah.
With that, I'll be quiet.
No, I don't need you quiet at all. So thank you. Thank you. And if you want more, let us know and let us hear from you and know the topics that resonated. Thank you. Toy said, thank you. This was awesome. And thank you for sharing. Abby, I see you. Thanks. She said, beautiful story. Thank you for sharing. We feel the love. We just want to help you find, more of you and the beautiful you, and let that out into the world. We need more love in this world, guys. All right. With that, we'll say goodbye. So long. We love you. All right. Open your mindset. Shift your perspective. Create the reality that you want for you. All right. We'll talk with you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.